whichever one.
Just let it go.
I prefer, yes.
Yeah, and it is going. It's just because of how this works and the fact that it's in mono. Like, you don't see the crazy lines, but they are there.
Oh, okay.
I have been. I was testing this like all day yesterday.
Doesn't pick that up very well.
No, but that's
that's
also a plosive. We don't necessarily want plosives.
Oh yeah, this is true.
This is true.
This is true.
Anyway, hi everybody. I haven't done this in a long time, so it feels weird.
Yeah, forgot your name. Nobody knows who you are.
I'm your buddy WolfyP.
And this is JaketheSnake. And we're gonna be smoking that reefer today.
And yeah,
that devil's lettuce.
We've had this idea for a hot minute of doing this like little podcast that we're calling Twice Baked. And I already fucked up the first episode because the initial premise was like, hey, give me weed. I am a chef. I'm going to use said weed, an ingredient to feed you weed snacks.
Oh yeah, where's my munchies, motherfucker?
I don't have
I
that.
was promised munchies. This was not in my contract. I'm leaving in a huff.
Well, just because, like, I mean, part of the whole thing was that it's like, oh yeah, like we could like smoke dirt while we were talking, and we also had the weed munchies, but I had a not too great experience last time I had munchies.
Oh yeah, I gave them the good shit, the pure crackhead energy, dialed in gummies, where you get chemical about that motherfucker. And yeah, not a good time.
Yeah, we both thought I had a seizure.
Yeah.
What were your exact words? I thought you gave up the ghost in the passenger seat of my car.
I thought he was about to give up the ghost in the passenger seat of my car.
Yeah.
Instead, he just spewed vomit all over it.
Yep. Which, I mean, could be, like...
Maybe, like...
close to giving up the ghost.
Chunks of soul, yeah.
Yeah, like a couple
There's my childhood wonder. There's my euphemism. There's my enthusiasm.
And that's why you get this more monotone sounding voice now.
Yes, you puked up the spirit.
I puked up all of my essence.
Speaking of
essence... actually, until today, literally pretty much right now while you do your thing, because we are currently in the state of Colorado, where this is totally legal, motherfuckers, but I have not touched weed in, like, since that time.
Yeah, baby!
So yeah, that little inhale I just did was my first inhale in how long has it been?
At least about 2 months?
At least.
Yeah, since before March.
So I'm gonna take it real slow.
Yes, he's back. Chillax. Go with the flow. Smoke some reefer, baby. I don't even know who I'm trying to fucking quote anymore.
I have no idea who you're trying to be.
I think I was like trying to be Snoop Dogg for a minute, but then Michael
How
Myers...
How the fuck is that Snoop Dogg?
Because Michael Myers worked his way... If you let me finish the sentence, I would have explained how Michael Myers had subverted, like, sabotaged his way into the sentence. And this is some good shit, alright? This is Snickers, by the way, for everybody, grown by the company Veritas.
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored, but if you're in your local herb shop or you see some nearby, grab that shit. That is what we call connoisseur weed.
Yeah.
The specialty shit. When you want some indica to smack your dick into the dirt.
That does remind me, though, like, the whole reason that we were gonna do this is because, like, the whole name of Twice Baked came from, like, you are a professional drug dealer.
I'm a professional drug dealer. Specifically, I am a dispensary worker. Legally, I cannot tell you what dispensary I work for because that is advertising to minors. Yeah. But I know my shit.
Yeah, because, like, that was the whole thing, is that, like, you are... Like, you work in a dispensary and you've actually, like, gotten your certificates and stuff to know what you're fucking talking about.
Oh, yeah. I get free weed just to test that shit out.
Yep, and to actually know, like, the science behind it.
Well, that's what the intention is. What they end up doing is giving you so much weed, you literally forget about how much you have. I found 2 ounces of marijuana the other day that I just completely fucking forgot about because I've got another 3 ounces in my other fucking bag.
Yeah, because then I was like, all right, well, with me, like, I won't say that I am a chef. A chef is being a chef is a title that you earn.
Chef is a job position.
I don't think I've earned that title of being called a chef, but I am a damn good cook. I did get called chef back at one restaurant that I worked at, and that was very nice. That made me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. But that was like the whole idea, the whole premise was that like I make food using your weed as one of my primary ingredients.
Yes. We will have to fix this.
Exactly. Eventually.
Yes. Common misconception about marijuana. THC is not everything. THC, all that tells you is that it is going to get you high. That number is not even an accurate representation of how high. So if you go into your local dispo, don't ask for the highest THC. They're just going to give you whatever random shit has a big number. Now, the nose knows. So there's this little thing with marijuana. It's called a terpene profile. And it's actually not with marijuana. It's with many vegetables, plants, fruits, many things. What it is it's specifically the flavor, the smell. That tells you what's in your weed. So for instance, if you smell something very citrusy, very pleasant, more on that lemony smell, you know that that's a kick-ass anti-inflammatory. So you can literally smell what the weed will do for you. Look up a terpene profile before you go in. Find out what you like. And make sure to switch it up every now and then, because when you get too used to one specific high, it stops working.
Yeah, and that's like, when you were telling me about that, I was just like, yo, that sounds like when I'm choosing ingredients. Like
that is literally, yes. The sense of like your garlic, your like shredded garlic, or like the lemon you throw in it. That's all terpene profiles too. You mix that shit.
Yeah, because it's just like, oh, I can use this to... When you're telling me like, oh, there's this thing that's like lemony, I think I was asking like, oh, okay, well, would it come off like lemon, like that citrusy lemon juice? Would it come off like that kind of bitter lemon zest? Because there's like such a different array of like flavors in all of your ingredients. That, again, I'm not like, oh... I was just gonna say, like, I'm not a weed guy. I'm just straight up, like, not a drug guy, period.
This is true. Not anymore, at least.
Not anymore. Yeah. I'm the fucking, like, straight edge hardcore uncle at this point.
At this point, yes. But yeah, when you go into a dispensary, don't even look at that THC number. I've had things that register as 19% that have hit me harder than 30%. And that's because you can't accurately measure every single part of the weed. Right now, we're not allowed to smell due to COVID. When that comes back on, go by smell. The nose knows.
The nose knows.
Yes.
Yeah,
if you like the smell of the weed, you're probably going to like the high. Our noses are a lot more developed than we give them credit for because dogs blow us out of the water.
I feel like that's kind of a not fair, like, assessment, though, because it's like, that's a dog.
Exactly, but that's what everybody compares it to. Like, well, what's a great sense of smell? Well, a dog. Well, obviously.
Yeah. Because it's just like, well, I mean, like, there's some, in all fairness, like, there's some foods that's like, I don't like blue cheese, but like, I don't like the smell of blue cheese. But, and like, just on its own, I'm not the biggest fan. But when I can combine it with some other stuff to make like a sauce for a steak, or if I can make some kind of, it's usually a blue cheese based like sauce that I'm making that makes me go ooh mommy.
Ooh mommy. Not ooh mommy. That's something totally else. But
yes.
Ooh mommy.
Ooh mommy. Yes. That's just like there's all this other shit. So I'm like, what if I would like something, but I think it smells like hot shit? I mean, granted, that's like, well, that's your problem.
See, that's the other turnaround as well. If you just absolutely despise the smell, like it hits you in the nose and it lingers for a minute, just punching you in your fucking sinuses, that high's probably going to be ridiculous.
I don't know if I should trust that ridiculous. That sounds
that is very much a one that's going to hit you in one of two ways. You're going to have a you're either going to have a really, really good time being stoned out of your fucking mind,
or a real bad time,
or a really bad time because you're stoned out of your fucking mind. It's all about how you react to being stoned out of your fucking mind.
That kind of I kind of want to, like, shift that to, like, oh, there's all kinds of stuff that you can do when you're having your smokies, because it just made me think, it reminded me, we did this literally earlier today. So for a little bit of background, because I haven't uploaded to, like, the old Let's Play channel, Bad Moon, in, I want to say, like, close to 2 years at this point. I haven't uploaded to this channel, because it's going to be on the personal channel, in, like, a year. Because I was like, I don't have my mic, I gave my missus my microphone.
1 year ago exact, I think.
Yep.
This is not even your channel. You're buried, my dude.
Oh no, so for the Let's Play, it was Bad Moon,
That's
yes.
right. That's right. I'm used to all your Wolfman stuff.
Yep, Wolfman Pedro was just me. Yeah, there's that one.
There it is.
It's gonna be like 2 years ago. Oh, it says a year. Huh.
1 year.
1 year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ghost of Tsushima. That was actually our last video together. Yeah.
And then again for like this channel, because I didn't have a mic or anything, and now I have a nice crispy mic. I haven't like done anything. Oh, I hated that. I hated that.
That's why he did that. It was so unsettling.
I know.
It was perfect for the role he was playing. Anthony Hopkins is a fucking acting god. I don't care who says otherwise.
Who would say it? When have you ever heard... I'm gonna totally tangent now. When have you ever heard anyone say anything bad about Anthony Hopkins? Like, at least in terms of his acting. I haven't heard if he's, like, been a shitty person or not or anything. But, like, as an actor...
The closest I've ever gotten was a backhanded compliment that he was too good as a serial killer.
Alright. Alright. That's I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole. But,
in other news, Anthony Hopkins' other life suddenly get hit by a fucking libel suit.
Right? Yeah, not touching that shit. But the whole reason I brought up, like, Bad Moon is because for anyone who hasn't been around for the last year, which I wouldn't blame you, I have not basically existed other than, like, my artwork on Instagram on the internet. And a couple takes on Twitter.
Which I really did like your Tanjiro, I will say.
Thank you, I was quite proud of that.
Yes.
But it's, Jake and I have known each other, if you haven't heard us before. We've known each other since we were far more wee.
The wee tots.
Like, we've known each other since what, fucking, like, 6th grade?
3rd grade.
3rd grade? Were you around at that school?
I'm trying to remember. What school did you go to? I think I went to...
Too.
Then, so we were in the same school in 3rd grade. I don't think we properly met until 5th.
Yeah, that was like, I think like 5th or 6th.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's still like, I'm like almost 30 now.
Yeah, no, I'm trailing behind. I'm 28 next month.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, since we were wee little lads.
Wee tots.
The only 2 of our original crew left. At least on my end.
The only 2 of the original crew that still kind of stick around.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Because Austin's he's Amazon slave.
Yeah, he's off doing, like, his shit.
Yep.
But then it's like, there's the ginger lad.
Who's a little bit too much of a cop for me to hang out with nowadays.
And that's why I was like, he was on, like, that's why I said on my end. Because I'm the one that 9 times out of 10 says fucking sayonara and leaves.
Usually.
I'm good at ghost.
Adios. You did it to me for a couple of years, too. Motherfucker.
Yeah, because you fucked me on money.
I didn't fuck you on money, I just didn't have as much as I said I did.
Regardless. So yeah, it's just like, we've had this idea for a hot minute. And wow, that stuff's already hitting me that I'm losing my train of thought.
That's Snickers, baby.
That's Snickers, baby. What the fuck was I saying? Yeah. So this is gonna be so heavily edited, I can tell already.
Edited out the ass.
Edit it out the asshole. But yeah, this was like an idea that we've had for a long time. For those of you who are first timers here, we've known each other for many years, and wanted to put our two separate skill sets into this one thing. We also, like, I had the idea, like, oh, maybe we can, like, play a game in the background while we do this. But then I was like, no, that's a terrible idea, because if we're also, like, smoking weed while there's a game on while we're supposed to be talking, we're just gonna end up, like, it's not gonna work.
Yeah, it turns into us just trying to kill each other and something.
Yeah, or just, like, being so distracted by the game, it's like, look at the pretty colors.
Yeah. Which, because this game's not getting enough fucking hype because it came out right around the same time as Elden Ring.
Woo!
Horizon Forbidden West.
Looks great.
It's gorgeous.
It looks great.
Oh yeah.
Not
Photogrammetry is like, it's not quite up to where it is, but I think that's kind of the limitations of the PlayStation 4 Pro as opposed to the PlayStation 5 that it's designed for. But you can zoom it in on the rock next to your character's foot and see the moss growing on it in 4K detail.
Yeah, like I said, I've seen that game and it is stunning. Like, it looks gorgeous.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I woo for Elden Ring. I've been a FromSoft boy since Dark Souls. Well, since Dark Souls 3. 3 was my first one, and then no, that's a lie. Bloodborne was my first FromSoft game. And I have been hooked ever since.
I've tried multiple times to get into the series, and I will say, for what it is, I understand why people like it, I understand why it's popular, and I will admit, it's got some good game design. It's not for me. I am too much of a filthy casual.
I had an idea, but I think I'd rather stay there because there's a topic. Something that we've done forever. We're gamers. We do the gaming. Jake, I got a question for you.
Uh-oh.
What is your favorite game? If you had to think of one that's just like, this defines me as a gamer.
In pure hours I've sunk into it, I have to legally say Skyrim. In terms of what I actually really enjoy the game design of versus what I butcher in the data of the game, Witcher 3.
Yeah. So actually, I'll like change the question up a little bit because you already have two, and I know that you would put these two there. Instead of like, what's the one that defines? If you had to make a Mount Rushmore for yourself of like, these are like, if you want to know my taste, these are the games that I play. You know what I mean? Like, these are the ones that are on my Mount Rushmore.
On my Mount Rushmore, we would have Geralt of Rivia.
Okay, so The Witcher.
The Witcher. We would have probably Alduin representing Skyrim.
Okay.
Because I can't think...
He's the bad dragon, right?
He was the bad dragon, but he's like... He's more iconic than just the fucking helmet. Or at least I like the... If I'm going to give my take on it.
I was going to say, I don't know if I would agree with that one, but I do hear what you're saying.
Yeah, design-wise, I prefer Alduin up there than just the fucking Dovahkiin helmet.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's use Darth Vader to represent a multitude of Star Wars games. Up front and center is Knights of the Old Republic.
Okay.
And then one...
Because I would say when it comes to you and Star Wars, like, I know that you've played a ton of Star Wars games, but if I was going to pick a game for you to represent Star Wars, it would be Knights.
Yeah, that's the one. I'm an RPG guy. I like my character build. I like to be able to, go about my own story. I like my RPGs. So Knights of the Old Republic, for sure. And Battlefront 2 when it was for Xbox and not the new crap.
Yeah, back when it was a Pandemic that made that game. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Pandemic software.
Yep. Let's see, fourth one. I would probably have to say, just from sheer amount I've played them, probably Pikachu from Pokemon, even though I'm not big into the series anymore.
Yeah.
You have to give something to the time sink.
I can respect it. Mm-hmm. Like, I was thinking, like, I would probably put Pokemon on mine too, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Like, I don't know if you noticed or not, but it's, we actually, like, just kind of, like, shared a Nintendo Switch for a minute because we were both playing Pokemon Arceus. Mm-hmm. But in order to get the setup that I needed to make this microphone work, I actually ended up selling my Nintendo Switch.
Pretty much right after my turn with it.
Yeah, just like, all right, we both done what we wanted with the Switch. Because don't get me wrong, I actually adore that thing. Like, it's treated me well for the last 5 years.
There's not enough out for it, though.
And for me, it's not even that there's not enough out for it. It's the fact that I'm so PC-centric now that it's just like, it was just collecting dust. I'd rather, like, hey, someone else can, like, buy it and enjoy it.
Buy it, use it, break it, fix it, crash it, change it, upgrade.
But yeah, so that's why I ended up getting rid of it, because for sure one of like the games on my Mount Rushmore, represented by my beautiful green-hatted pointy-eared man himself, you can see him right there, he's on my wall, it would be The Legend of Zelda, Link.
Yep.
Fucking like, I remember one day we were hanging out. I'll get to the other three, but I remember one day we were hanging out, and we went to go visit the Ginger Lad. And just in case anyone's like, I hope I'm not offending, that's just like what we call this kid, and I don't want to like name drop him just in case. You know?
Yarp.
Trying to be, even though we're not like
Physical
really,
descriptor without getting too descriptive.
yeah, like, I don't want to, you know.
He knows who he is. He knows what he did.
I remember I stopped by your guys' apartment when you were living together. Yeah. And I was rocking my Zelda hat. My wallet is a Triforce wallet. And my most prominent tattoo, because it's right on the back of my hand for everyone to see, is the Majora's Mask. And I remember I came by one time, because we were just going to hang out, and the first thing he does is he like sees, because I was like putting my wallet away because I had to like look for something in there. He's like, you know, there's other game franchises in Zelda, right? Like, and I was just like, yeah, I know, but I fucking love Zelda.
Yeah, and Zelda's one of them.
And Zelda's like arguably the number one for me.
I would say top 5.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, it's easily on my Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
And then like right next to it, which is now my favorite game of all time from my favorite developers now, would be I would actually probably put the Ashen one over, or actually, you know what? I'll put Blythe because he's just my favorite character. Blythe to represent Elden Ring and just all of FromSoft in general. But the Souls-like games have become my favorite like type of game.
Yeah, you like that punishing challenge.
I like the challenge. I like being able to learn from my mistakes.
He likes the pixels to spank his ass and make him call them daddy.
Makes the victory that much sweeter.
I will admit, I did get to I haven't returned the game yet because I did get to one point where I was like, okay, like it or hate it, I'm not getting punked by a bunch of fucking pixels.
Yeah. For sure. So yeah, there'd be like FromSoft would be there. Actually, no, that's a lie. As much as I love Blythe, the FromSoft would have to be represented by Artorias. He is the fucking coolest character other than Blythe in all of FromSoft, and I will fight anyone on that. Artorias is the fucking man.
I don't have enough of an opinion on the games to fight you on it.
He's so cool, dude. Like, you would prefer Blythe for sure.
Yeah.
So just real quick, for anyone who hasn't played Elden Ring, there's this character named Blythe. He's like a wolf man, but not like a werewolf. He's like a man wolf. You know what I'm saying? Like, he has like the head of a wolf, but he stands like a man and he carries a big fuck off sword.
He's like an Anubis.
Yeah, he's kind of like an Anubis in a way, except like his arms are still furry and like clawed. You know? And he's like voiced by a Welsh man whose name escapes me, so he has that like nice Welsh accent.
Oh, he's Wolfman. Yeah.
And he's just and he is just Guts from Berserk. Like 100%, he's just Guts. He's the man. He's the man. So on my Mount Rushmore, right? I have Legend of Zelda for sure. I'll have Blythe represent Blythe or Artorias. One of the two of them. It depends on the day for who would represent like the Souls-like games. You know what? Better yet, you see that silver case right there? Gimme. Yep. Here, I'm gonna roll a d20 real quick. Even, it'll be Blythe. Odd, it'll be Artorias. That is fuck. No, nat 20. Alright, cool, let's go. And I said even was Blythe, so Blythe will represent. Blythe is the fucking man.
Oh, I gotta show you the new fucking... so we play a lot of Dungeons and well,
D&D.
a lot is...
Well, one of our... So, quick tangent. I DM a game for these guys. And for him, my wife, a couple friends. But one of our party members just had some puppies. Yeah, Oh, nice. That's a cool guy.
I rolled a nat 1. Fuck.
Get fucked.
Even in showing stuff off, right? I suck.
One of our buddies who plays in the game that I run, his dog just had puppies, and he's from North Dakota. He went there for an extended visit and is now there taking care of the new puppies. Taking care of poopers. So we haven't been able to play in a hot minute. Because
it's been sad. Especially because I play a necromancer with split personality disorder, and each personality has a different accent and alignment.
Yeah,
which I have papers for you the next time we play.
Yes, I do need those.
Yes.
So yeah, just before we get onto that tangent to get the last two on my Mount Rushmore, my boy Sora has got to be on there.
Yar.
My boy Sora from Kingdom Hearts.
What are we on?
And that's 3. So my last, I think, will be the Trapper from Dead by Daylight, I think, to just represent like the majority of horror games in general. If not Trapper, then probably like Leon from Resi 4. Because just like the horror games and the survival horror genre in general is like, I would say like in our group of friends, I am known for like 3 things. I'm the cook. Sure. I'm the horror guy. And I'm the comics guy.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah, so it's just like whenever there's a chance for horror anything, I'm like, hey guys, you wanna see this? And it's like, no, why do you want to be scared? It's like, it's not even that scary.
See, to me, it's not even like the scary shit, because it's like I can get like really fucking down with a good horror film. It's usually on the supernatural variety. It's slashers I don't care for.
And I love slashers, but they're not like, I put those on because to me they're just fun. They're just good, mindless fun.
When the characters deserve it. So when like No One Lives, that's one of my favorite.
No One Lives is
Antonio.
That's a more hardcore one.
No, it is Luke
Evans.
Luke Evans. Yes, Luke Evans, main character, takes down a bunch of psychopaths because he's the bigger fucking psychopath.
Yeah, and then I'm just here like, I cut my teeth on Halloween, Scream, Nightmare on Elm Street, Texas Chainsaw.
Yeah, I end up feeling bad for the kids because it's like they're just fucking kids.
They're just trying to fuck. Man, fuck them kids. Give me them blood and guts.
No, like when it's stereotypical, like when it's the cast from like Until Dawn. Absolutely.
I adore Until Dawn.
Yes.
Those guys, Supermassive
That's actually a horror I turned you on to.
Yep, Supermassive Games. Those guys are absolutely brilliant. Yes. I love those guys.
Yes. A horror game that played like a horror slasher movie.
Yes.
Beautiful.
I need to get their like other games. I didn't really like Man of Medea very much, but the other ones look awesome.
Yeah.
They look so good.
I'm still waiting around for a solid Lovecraftian game.
I saw this game not too long ago. You know what it was? I remember I was playing this game, and I told you about it. I was like, so there's this game on Steam. The name escapes me, and I'll pop it up on screen right here. Bing, there's the name of the game. Bing. But I was like, yo, there's this game that you need to check out. It is crazy Lovecraftian, but it is horny. Like, it was like, on Steam, like, there's now the adults game section. And the thing was, it wasn't even, like, horny in the sense of, like, oh, this is, like, a hentai game. Like, it wasn't like that. It's just that, like, it dealt with a lot of, like, the, sexual horror that is in a lot of Lovecraft.
Yeah.
And it was,
there are a lot of,
like, it dealt with,
writhing tentacles.
Yeah, it dealt with
writing
a lot of
things in various different forms.
But like when I only played the prologue of it because it was free, but I was like, this feels like what you were looking for. It's like it had that, like there's no denying it was like very Lovecraftian.
I feel like we should elaborate on something after just having said horror sex stuff and then saying that this is up my alley.
In all fairness, though, dude, like
I've delved. I've never partaken.
Partaken.
Yes, I've seen things that didn't necessarily make me happy inside.
You know what? That's very fair. I can understand that. But yeah, there was like I wish I could remember this game because like it already popped up on screen because I remember I was telling you about it, and you're like, "All right, well, what's the catch?" I was like, "The catch is that it's an adults only game, like because it has like." It has
adult.
It has the sex stuff. Well, the reason I brought it up is because like I'm on Steam, right?
Uh-huh.
And with the adults only section, it's like you remember how like back in the day with like the Wii, it's just like there was like the Nintendo shovelware that was just like a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah. Nintendo was like, here's this, that, and that, and that, and that. Buy it all.
Yeah.
Buy everything.
And it was. A lot of it was hot garbage. Like if it wasn't like a Nintendo property, it
would not have sold
garbage.
Period.
Yeah,
like the Soulja Boy shit.
Yeah, that's like what I see. Like 9 times out of 10, if I ever go into the adults only area of Steam, that it's just like this is all just like shovelware with titties. Like
shovelware with titties.
There's nothing compelling here. There's nothing good about any of this.
Yeah,
but then like every
just
so
a
often,
big old titty drop thumbnail.
But then it kind of like how I feel about horror is that it's like I will watch every bullshit horror movie under the sun because when I find that diamond in the rough that makes me go, oh yes, it's not just a good horror movie, it's a good fucking movie. It makes me so happy.
Yeah. Well.
Which
apparently it's not that good if you can't remember the name.
Well, it's because, like, I wanted to say, like, oh, it's Agony. Like, no, it wasn't fucking Agony. Agony was garbage. And that was another one that was like, oh, we're, like, a legit horror game, but we deal with the, like, the sexy stuff. And it's like, I tried the free trial of that one, too, and I was like, nah, this game fucking sucks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's some things they add into a game, I feel, just to try and drive,
It might have worked for me when I was
guilty clicks.
Might have worked for me when I was like 16 years old.
Oh, it definitely would have worked on me on 16.
Yeah, but it's just like that shit don't work on me.
I was a degenerate little fuck back then.
That stuff does not. It is not good enough for my refined gamer palate.
The addition of the hentai was a bit contrite, I find.
It was a bit trivial, if I will.
Yes.
Sound like such dickheads.
Great in concept, but not quite in execution. I don't know where that one was going. It started posh and then was going to like Outback Australia.
Yeah, just a little bit like, oh, well, crack here, mate. Look at this.
Not quite marshmallow on the Bobby.
Yeah, that kind of reminds me. There was a movie I wanted to show you because I remember like. I heard the premise, and I think I showed you the trailer, and you were interested in it. There's this movie that came out super recently called Antlers. It was a Wendigo movie.
Oh, no, I've seen it.
Okay, cool. What did you think of it? Because I saw it too.
We're talking about the one, like, there's an end scene at the end of it where, like, the Wendigo is picking the person up or something, and it's, like, highlight by House on Fire.
Oh,
because I can't remember the name of that movie, but I remember that scene.
No. That's the ritual that you're thinking of.
Oh, okay.
No, like...
Okay, yeah, that's the last one with a Wendigo I've seen, other than Pet Sematary.
There's this one called Antlers. I'll show you the... So I remember I showed you the, like, trailer for it. That's, like, the movie cover.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't think I've seen a more fucking mid movie in so goddamn long.
Yeah. There are, like, some supernatural flicks I've definitely seen because they were supernatural, not because they were good films.
Yeah, like, I was watching it on HBO, And it hurt me so much because I was like, this is one of those movies, man, that is so close to being so good.
If they just did this, instead of this and this, we say as non-professional, non-acclaimed critics.
As true as that is, man, like, if I can, like, one of the things another show I used to do was called the Backseat Movie Review.
Yeah, we haven't done that in a hot minute.
We haven't done that in a hot minute either. But that was something that I super enjoyed. It's just that, you know, the whole premise of that was like we went to the theater and then reviewed something literally in the car on the drive home.
Yar.
And that's where the problem came in, was that we went to the theater, which costs money.
Lots of money.
So it's just like, I want to do like, I want to keep up doing like movie review type things, because I'm like, I'm such a fucking, I have so many fucking hot takes on movies. Like,
just fucking watch a movie in then. Like,
yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's just that it was like, we just haven't done that in a minute. You know what I'm saying?
This is true.
This
is true.
Because 9 times out of 10, when we're going to watch something, Mr. Have you seen said isekai?
Meh.
It's like we always end up watching anime. Because you want to show me some isekai with generic homeboy number 7.
The generic homeboy number 7.
The generic homeboy number 7.
The one that starts the rest of them.
Because, like, yeah, last time, like, granted, like, one of my favorite anime now you showed me, which was Demon Slayer.
Yeah.
And Made in Abyss. I absolutely adored Made in Abyss.
Made in Abyss.
Once it was done.
Another good one, yes. Which, that does have a movie out that I don't think you've seen yet.
I have not seen the film yet. I know it's on High Dive. I just haven't seen it yet.
That is one I have a hot take on.
Yeah. Sorry about that random cut. My wife sneezed in the background. Anywho.
I was going to blame it on the stranger in the wall.
Oh, the stranger in the wall. There is the stranger in the wall.
Hi, guys. There's also a lot of helium.
It's real fucked up out here. Let me tell you what. Yeah.
Can you hear me anymore?
So like this whole fucking, how long has it been? This whole like almost 40 minutes that we've been grabbing. I think it's just been to like,
Snickers
this is kind of
fun.
This is like kind of how we know each other, who we are.
Yeah, we kind of do the shit in the car.
Yeah, exactly. So, something a little bit more structured. If you've made it this long, thanks. Don't know why, but thank you. I appreciate you.
Yeah. We also know you have nothing better to do.
Or just on in the background.
Along.
Or just on in the background.
You can't leave now. We know.
Something I wanted to discuss, because like I was actively thinking about it in the car today, but I was like, you know what? Save it. Save it. We went to a dog park pretty close to where I live that I had no idea was there.
Yeah.
And while we were there, like, our dogs were doing very good. Like, they were good boys.
Very good boys.
Homeboy baby cakes motherfucking dude. There were so many people there that were making me so fucking mad. They were making me so fucking angry.
Yeah.
And I don't think it necessarily has to do with me being such an introvert. It's like, so here's the thing. When there's an area with a lot of dogs, it's like, you know, this is a dog park, you were allowed to be off leash, you know. Something that I immediately saw that bothered me was, please tell me if I'm wrong. When we first got there, I didn't let Mikey off the leash right away. I had him kind of sniffing from outside of the fence. I had him being good and like approaching very calmly.
Checking the vibe.
I did not just let him go, right?
Yeah.
How many people were there and they're just like, here we go, off you go. And it's just like, that can cause bunching, which can cause fights.
Yep.
It's just like,
which almost did at one point.
Yeah, which there were like times that's like, there were a couple of dogs that almost started fighting.
Yeah, like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, and it's just like, oh, there's Jimmy Bob, he's being so sweet. I was like, no, like, you are not controlling this situation.
None whatsoever.
Fucking, like, thankfully nothing was going on and I'm probably overreacting. But, because I tend to do that, I'm very protective of my boy.
I'm usually too high to care, and I know Harley's too big to really take it from any particular dude. It's machines he's terrified of.
Yeah.
I can expect him to be able to hold his own against another dog.
Yeah,
At
and
least
like,
long enough for me to get over there and be like, break it the fuck.
yeah, and like Mikey's a big boy too. But I was like, that still doesn't change the human factor of like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
like
like
fucking,
you noticed,
how can you?
You noticed with Harley, anytime like a dog came over, he'd come right the fuck over when I called him over. 'Cause,
Yeah.
You know, let them fucking come in and don't have this whole like, no, meet everybody and overwhelm the fucking dog,
Exactly.
which starts the fight.
And there was a whole section, I don't know if you noticed it, like we went over to like the left-hand side of the park, where there's a very clear, big sign that said, big dogs.
Big dogs.
To the left, there was another sign that said, small and injured dogs.
Mm-hmm.
We go in, and this fucking girl comes in with like a very beautiful big dog, kind of looked like a lassie dog, you know?
Yeah.
And a little fucking like toy poodle
And
that
she brought
you
a
could
snack.
that you could like punt that bitch over the fence, and she just let it fucking roam free amongst these like Mikey. We think he's like a lab pit mix.
Yeah.
Huskies.
Or Harley's a husky shepherd.
Like, and there were other like big shepherds there. There were big dogs there.
Big dog.
I was like, if for whatever reason a fight were to happen, and this little dog gets in the middle of it, that dog's fucking dead.
Yeah, one dog goes, hung,
and is done. I was like, I could barely keep my shit straight. I was like, I think I'm pretty good when it comes to like hiding my irritation with people.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell me if I'm wrong.
No, usually pretty good. You
'Cause,
weren't.
I
You've
wasn't.
gotten better.
Okay, yeah.
I remember times where I've seen you like fucking mad-eyeing like everything in the fucking room, tapping your foot, being irritated as hell.
Yeah, that's fair. That sounds like old me.
Yeah.
But like that whole time I was looking around, I was like, how is no one like the one dude that I saw that I just kind of had like that nod with was like there's like this big lad that came in with his dog who's also a big dog.
Yep.
It's the homeboy with like the dark sunglasses and the shorts, who the whole like you could tell he had his like not like in a bad way, but like he had his dog on lock. Like he knew exactly what was going on when it was going on, you know. And like if anything felt weird, he was there. Like, I'm gonna protect my dog, but I'm also gonna make sure that nothing happens. Yeah, I was just like, I had this vibe of like, you're good, homie. You're not just fucking seeing potentially, because like, all right, there's a point like when Mike and Harley were running around with some of the other dogs, right?
Yeah.
And like you could hear like the, you know, but that was it. Like, there's a distinct difference between like the sounds of playing versus like this could turn into a fight.
Yeah, like the bar that's like that's dog for back off.
Yeah.
Like, that's a warning.
Yeah.
Versus when the snarls start coming out and teeth start flashing.
There was a smaller dog there that yelped like 2 or 3 times.
Yep, and then there was a bigger dog that was running around kind of antagonizing. He was throwing his weight around. I know Harley snapped at him at one point.
Yeah. And Mikey, who was like super cool with everyone, I noticed at one point he was a little like,
Yep, that's when Harley came over and was like, fuck off.
Yeah, I did find it funny too, because it's just like the whole time, like anywhere we go, you and I are always kind of like in a corner, like, man, look at these little motherfuckers.
Yeah. Our dogs are the exact fucking
yeah,
same
like
way.
we took them to the dog park, and Mikey and Harley the whole time basically at the hip, they're just like, look at all these other fucking people. I just want to sniff around and explore.
Go investigate once or twice. Come on, bud.
Yeah, that was.
Mikey or Harley would lead the way to go introduce another dog, and the other one follows after.
Yeah, I found that really fucking funny.
Yeah.
That, like, I noticed that, and it gave me a good giggle and a half.
It was like, hey, high school all over again.
Exactly. Just me out in public when I'm not ready for it. That's like I've said it before. Like I think in a more how can I put it? In a more not casual setting, but in a more I guess like oh, let's just go do said random thing type of setting,
Yeah.
you are better out in public than I am. If we have a specific, like, no, this is what we're doing, I'm the one that's better. Because I have, like, that goal in mind, or, like, that plan in mind.
Yeah, yeah. I'm a little bit more used to working among the public versus you're a little bit more used to dealing with the public.
Yeah. I remember I put it once that it's just, like, if we were to, like, 2 different environments, we were to go, I don't know, to, like, a ski slope or something.
Yeah.
And it's not that this has anything to do, because you used to work at a ski slope.
Mm-hmm.
It has nothing to do with that. It's like if we were out like you and I, it's like if you're like, oh, I'm going to teach you how to snowboard, or I'm going to teach you how to ski.
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay, cool. And other people come up in that scenario, you are much better at dealing with that than I am.
Yeah.
Versus if we were like, oh, let's just go to like a comedy club and they were doing like an amateur night, I could get up on stage and be far more okay with that than you would.
Absolutely. I can do it. I'm not comfortable. And
Yeah.
I don't think anybody looking at me up on stage would be fooled into thinking that I was comfortable.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe it's just a bit more like egocentric than you are. Maybe. I have no idea. It's just like I know like
would
I'm
probably agree with that.
yeah, it's just like I just know that it's like if I have a goal in mind and I have something that's like alright, I'll use my wedding as an example. I was like, I am the groom, I feel like I have a job to do after like our vows, after we like said our vows and shit, you know?
Yeah.
That I went, like, I remember I was really drunk, but I would go around and, like, making sure everyone's having a good time, that everyone's eating, like...
Nobody's shoved off into a corner.
I'm a better host than I am a participant. I think that's a good way to put it.
I would agree.
Yeah, well, I think you're a better participant than you are a host.
And I prefer neither.
Yeah. Which is why I use those examples.
Yep.
So it was just funny seeing our dogs, like, so easily, like, mirror replicate that. Because I saw that, too, like, Harley was more willing to, like, go to other dogs.
Yep.
But then when other dogs approached Mikey, like, he didn't really want to go, but when others approached him, when he was sniffing around, he was like, hey, yeah, you want to see this thing? And, like...
Hey, check out this thing.
Yeah, and he was
Versus
more...
Harley's like, hi!
Yeah, exactly. I just found it so funny. Until I was, again, angry of, like, you guys are gonna cause a fucking fight here because this
I
is
think
bunching.
part of that was, like, a lot of those people, I think, were regulars to that place.
Yeah, I saw
very,
that.
Like, oh, here comes so-and-so whenever somebody would drive up.
And I heard that, too, so I was like, that's why I was like, maybe I'm, like, freaking out for no reason.
Well, at the same time, it's like, that's also what breeds the fight, is that comfortability of, like, not being aware of kind of what's going on. You're comfortable, your friends are all around you, you kind of drop your guard. Not necessarily like you have to like be ready to jump up, but like fucking be aware of what's going on around.
Yeah, it's just like, it's like, God, I was so worried the whole time that there was going to be an active fight. Mm-hmm. Just because like there was like, again, there's that one dog that was throwing his weight around, and just like, oh, that's, I don't remember his name, that's Doodles.
Yeah,
That's Doodles. That's just what Doodles does. It's like, no, what Doodles is doing is being an asshole.
Yeah, he was starting to bat Mikey around a little bit, and then Harley runs up on him, bats him, starts growling, and then
those two like end up forming a gang, and they're just like, nah, we're gonna just like jump on anyone that gets close to us.
Pretty much.
That gets too close, I should say.
With unfriendly intentions. Because they were friendly the rest of the time they were there.
It was just like this one dog that kept fucking throwing his weight around. And then there was like the one old-timey dog that he just wanted to lay down, and he like growled at Mikey because Mikey wanted to like sniff and say hello. And he's like, get out of here, whippersnapper. And Mikey's like, alright, cool, whatever, homie.
Yeah. The other versus the other red dog was very like, I'm gonna throw my weight around until he gets hit with actual fucking weight.
Exactly.
Like any fucking bully you see at the playground.
Exactly.
Because Harley's not small.
No.
Harley's all muscle and fat.
And Mikey is a tank of a lad.
So he tries to brush up against something that doesn't move and then gets hit by the thing that doesn't stop.
When it comes to Mikey, I liked giving the anecdote. Am I saying that correctly? Anecdote, thank you. Of when we play D&D together, because I'm the DM, I like to say like, everyone comes together and like there's smoke, food, and drinks to go around. I have 5 minutes to eat and drink before I don't stop talking for the next 3 hours.
And it's usually because I shove a pizza your way.
Yeah, at least. Sometimes we've gone like 4 hours or something, you know?
Yeah.
And I try my best to be a good DM.
Sure.
But that's makes it hard for me to also be a good dog dad at the same time. We have our two buddies who, just in case they don't want to be name dropped, I'm not gonna name drop them.
Scuttle and Fifi.
Scuttle and Fifi. I know exactly who Fifi is. So Scuttle, he's a shorter dude. Like, I would say he's maybe like what, 5'6", 5'7" tops.
I don't know. You're all fucking minuscule compared to me.
I'm like right under 6 foot. I'm literally 5'11", and I think change, which is like the fucking really annoying part.
Yeah, but I got my nose over you,
Exactly.
so I can literally look down my nose.
It's so annoying, but Scuttle, he's like a smaller dude, you know, and he has a husky as well, so he's used to big dogs. But his husky, and this is the friend who is out of state taking care of puppies right now. His dog is you saw his husky once, right?
Yeah.
Like very standard husky, like that kind of slim build,
petite.
Yeah, a very petite husky.
Yeah, versus Harley's a tank.
Yeah, and then when they come over, he tends to sit on the floor just because like that's where he likes to sit.
Yeah.
Sit on the floor and hug Mikey, and then Mikey
get bowled over
and he
at some
gets
point.
bowled over. And then there's Fifi, and Fifi's girlfriend, who I will call Lala.
Lala.
Fifi and Lala.
Fifi and Lala.
Lala, no issues, can take care of Mikey, you know. Fifi, who's a tall, lanky boy, very, very lanky boy,
Very lanky.
consistently gets knocked over by Mikey. I found it funny that I was like the only people that have not been knocked over by Mikey, and it's not because he's being aggressive. He just wants his love, so he'll like.
There's
he
a lot
tries-
of him to love.
He tries to be a lap dog, but he's like 100-pound lap dog.
Yeah. Yep.
So there's a lot of weight to throw around. The only
There's a
people
lot
he
of dog.
hasn't knocked over is you, me, and Lala.
Yep.
He has not knocked over Lala.
And I think that just shows a lot of experience with big dogs too.
Yeah.
Because like I don't remember all your pets specifically, but all mine have been big dogs.
Yeah, I don't think you ever met Lola. Do you remember Lola?
It does
She wasn't necessarily a
not ring
big
bell.
dog, but she was my Rottweiler when I was a kid.
Yeah.
She was like, you know those Rottweilers with the short legs?
Yeah.
She was one of them. What was that? Yeah, so Lola, she was one of those Rottweilers who, my pick. She was one of those Rottweilers that had like the shorter kind of stubby legs.
Yeah.
And she had that big old butt.
Big old butt.
Those Rottweilers with the big booties. Thank you so much.
Yes. Absolutely.
And yeah, like she wasn't very big, but she could absolutely, yeah. But yeah, she could throw her weight around when she wanted to and get snippy when she wanted to. Then there was Lightning. Lightning was my yellow lab, but he passed when he was a puppy.
The button is for preheat.
The weed man is explaining a weed thing to my more weedy wife.
Sorry.
You're okay. And then, like, you know, I remember my first dog actually was a German Shepherd named Rover. He was like my guardian dog when I was a baby.
We had Yellow Dog, big old golden retriever. Dumb as shit, but lovable dog.
Yeah, no, back when I was, because we're actually both, like, we learned about this later, but we were both from Chicago. Back when I lived there when I was like a little kid, I had a German Shepherd named Rover. And the rest of my family were not like the best dog owners, I will say. And so as that dog got older, he got more aggressive and he got more protective. Then when I was around, there's like clear photos and videos, and I have like maybe as like a 2-year-old the vaguest of memories of this dog just like wrapping himself around me, and I was just like, yay, pillow, you know? Like napping on this dog. And like my dad would go and try to like pick me up, and he would get like snapped at.
It's because dogs can sense evil.
No, that's a literal thing though. Like
Yeah.
Harley loves everybody. There's
Same with Mike.
dogs, cats, people, children, loves them all. he has growled at 3 people, and each and every single one of them has been sketchy as shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like there's a thing that's just like, I remember one time the missus said that Mikey and I together look intimidating. And that it's just like, because Mikey's so lovable, 9 times out of 10 it's me that's more suspect of people, because I'm just kind of a suspicious person of people.
Yeah. People,
Excuse me.
People do things.
Exactly. So it's just like, if it's me and Mikey who are like getting the bad vibe, it's like, yeah, fuck that person.
Dude, fuck that person in particular.
I remember the last time I got a weird vibe off of somebody.
Yeah.
It's when we were picking up your sister from like her activities, right?
Oh yeah. And I get
so we went to a gas station, and it was like almost like an anime, in the sense that it's just like this guy and I felt like we looked at each other.
No, especially too because like both of us have a problem with that with a gas station down in that area, and they're literally across the road from each other.
Yeah, for sure. So we weren't like doing any hooliganry or shenanigans. Again, I'm a close to 30-year-old man. Like, I'm 29. Fucking, I ain't got time for that shit.
And I got a good, well-paying job in the drug industry. I'm already looked at with suspicion. I don't need that shit.
Yep. Heavily tattooed, cook. I get the same thing. And I'm what I like to call off-white. So, it doesn't...
Cappuccino, if you will.
Cappuccino, if you will. So yeah, I get enough looks as it is. But yeah, like, I went in and I was like, it felt very like movie or anime-esque. That's like, in my brain space, I was like, you know, if this were like one of my entertainment mediums, this guy and I, we would just like keep our eyes locked on each other until everyone else felt the weirdness and left.
Fire rising in the background as the oblivious stoner friend is still trying to pick out his particular brand of mini muffins.
Right. And it's just like a fucking fight would break out right then and there. I had no explanation for this vibe. It was just the vibe.
Just that vibe, y'all.
Yeah.
Y'all. Where's that Colorado cream soda? There it is.
What are you grabbing now?
Colorado cream soda.
And what is that?
This is...
Because it's not a soda, it's another weed thing.
This is 1 gram of premium cannabis.
Cannabis?
Cannabis.
You said that one had some weird shit in it.
No, I think that's a different one.
Okay.
I thought it had some weird shit, but turns out it's just the regular.
Because again, like, when it comes to my, like, I'm feeling pretty haha right now.
Oh.
In the words of Mr. Slappy, ha ha ha. You get it? You get the joke?
No.
Mr. Slappy.
I'm too high.
I'm making a reference to Will Smith being a slappy man,
yeah.
and how his dad's like, ha ha ha.
Damn it, I forgot about that for a minute. Fucker. I was gonna continue to forget about it until the next time I turned on my ads.
Do you want to go into that? Tell me how you feel, because you sound angry.
No.
I think I'm gonna push you.
No.
You sound angry. Why are you so mad?
If only they would stop advertising it. I don't care what happened at the Oscars. Just stop shoving it in my face.
You know, I remember when I actually used to watch the Oscars like religiously every year with my mom and my sister and my brother.
When you thought it meant something?
It's not even that we thought it meant something, because we, like, especially my sister and I, would get so pissed every year about the robberies that would happen. It's just because we're such movie fans. But I haven't like actively watched the Oscars in, I want to say, like, at least a good 3 years. And then I just hear about, like, how dumb it was
I've never watched
later.
them once. Not even when I had a bet on it.
Not even when you had a bet.
No, I just waited for the fucking inevitable YouTube clip to come out of like, oh, this one. So that I can be like,
Fair.
yay or fuck.
Yep. Because that's, again, I'm kind of a pretentious movie guy. I love movies in general. But it's like, was it the ginger lad that was complaining, like, why don't you ever like anything?
No, because we always complain about that with him. Because
That's true.
he's got a... Like, there's analyzing stuff, and then there's over-analyzing stuff. And then there's whatever the fuck the ginger kid does. Which is annoy you with the thought of what could be behind a theory that possibly might be real.
Yeah, no, when we're talking about anything, I like to go with just the, like, what we see. The merits of what
can
is...
I use that's like,
the merits
I've got
of what
evidence for.
The merits of what is actually there. And if I want to get up my own ass, pretentious movie critic snob about it, I use stuff that is actively in the film.
Yar.
Or the game. Or the show.
Or, yar. Yeah. Or the manga.
Or the manga. In
Which
case...
we gotta get you to read more Solo Leveling.
Yeah, no. Because I got the first one and I liked it, I just want to have them, like...
The first one is the
physically
tip
as I
of the
can get.
iceberg. You're not even in obsession level yet. Literally, most of the people I've introduced this manga to have read the full fucking thing in either a night or a week.
Excuse me, it's pronounced manhwa. It's Korean.
Let me put this out.
No!
Real quick.
Yes, that was me, like, characterizing that I can be a little bit of a hipster. Out of all, like, out of all those group, like, who do you... Okay, here's a question. Who do you think is more of, like, the hipster? Me or the short one? This is a different friend.
Ooh.
I think we're different types, in all fairness.
You are different types. Yes. You are the social justice warrior. He is the draft beer douchebag.
You know what? Fair. I think that's fair.
He's the one that goes to the club and is like, I'll have a whatever martini on the rocks, and like order this whole like fucking thing. Mm-hmm. Like it's got to be specific too. Like he orders his drink like he orders his Starbucks.
Yeah, and he is one of those Starbucks guys.
He's just a straight up barista.
Yeah. Oh, I remember because I haven't seen him in a long time. Not out of it, not for any like malicious purpose or anything. It's just like he's off doing his shit.
I owe him money.
Spoiler
alert! It's cocaine.
Yeah, I haven't seen this lad in what feels like forever. And again, nothing malicious. Just I feel like I'm like, thank you. I just feel like lives have gone our separate ways at the moment. Like, I still comment on his stuff, and I see him, like, online.
He sends me Instagram shit every now and then.
Exactly.
And it's not a ransom note.
Yeah, like, he sends me some Instagram stuff as well every so often.
Yeah.
Or, like, when,
I think he's quit Facebook, more or less, which, bravo.
The only reason I haven't is because that's where I see, like, my family's stuff for the most part.
I use it for the Messenger app mostly. I know too many people across too many fucking different social networks.
You know that you can delete your Facebook and still use the Messenger app, right?
I know.
So you're just saying that you're lazy.
I'm not saying that.
So it's just like the look on your face, just so I can like describe it of the okay, I'm not going to argue with that, but how can I get myself out of this corner real quick? You just had that look of like, shit. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah.
Because like I've thought about deleting it forever. It's just that again, that's where I see a lot of my family's stuff. Because everything and everyone else, for the most part, I'm just like, yeah, fuck them. I don't care.
Every now and then I have a friend who posts a funny meme, and I'm not quite willing to get rid of that commitment just yet.
That's fair.
It's gotten pretty serious.
Let's go proceed. Okay. I think we've discussed this before, but because of certain activities now, I'm talking about the weed,
yeah.
I don't remember. Have we talked about...
that's weed, baby.
Yep. Have we talked about the potential of going to the 10-year reunion? Since it's going to be our 10-year reunion?
I haven't even heard of anything going on.
I haven't heard either.
I'm pretty sure most of my classmates have forgotten that I existed, and
I want to
most of them, I'm kind of okay with that.
I want to believe I'm right there with you. What I was going to ask is, like, let's say the thing goes out, it's like,
I did run into. He lives up near my work.
Oh. I know
So I
he
did
got
find somebody.
married and has
Yes.
like 3 kids.
I did not know about the kids. I know he got married.
Yeah. That's something that I again saw on Facebook was that like his wife had triplets.
Yep. And I feel like we're comfortable saying that name because it's still not quite technically his real name, so he's safe.
Yeah. That's fair. No, I remember I was like thinking about it because I was gonna ask you because I had this conversation with the wife who graduated like 2 or 3 years after us, tops.
Yeah.
That I was gonna ask, like, assuming that everything's a go of like, all right, former class of graduating year, this is the time, this is the place. Will you go? If you
Fuck no.
cool, me either.
Fuck no.
I always hear about people just like, oh no, you should go because you like, you know, you want to know. I'm like, what do you
Why?
want to know?
Anybody
like, what is there to know?
Yeah, anybody I wanted to know, I've kept in touch with.
Yeah,
I already know what's up.
And I'm just like, I understood it back from like way back in the day before social media, and it's just like, oh, I wonder how said person is doing. And then there's like this event where everyone gets together to see how everyone is doing, you know?
I didn't like enough of our classmates to give a shit.
Yeah, no, like there is that on top of what I'm saying. But I'm just like,
most of them thought I was a stoner before I was a fucking stoner. Like, they wrote me off as some degenerate anyway. Fuck them.
fucking truth. But that's what I was saying. Like in today's, like if you ask me, today's day and age, if I went like, oh, I want to look up said person and see how they're doing, I can just grab my phone and beep, bop, boop, 3 seconds, there they are. Oh, turns
got
out,
a sex change.
cool,
Congrats.
good for you.
No, that's like literally. I was
Yeah.
going through the other day. That, you know, congrats to him, but like, wow.
Yeah, it's just like,
Make big moves.
yeah, but I'm just like, if I were ever up at like 3 or 4 in the morning, just having those like wandering midnight thoughts of like, I wonder how insert random person is. You can just fucking look them up.
Yep. And if it matters that much to you, hey, let's get a coffee.
Yeah. Or if it's just like the worst case scenario, if like, I wonder how said person's doing. This account is private. Huh. Oh well. Like,
Bummer.
I feel like the idea of the reunion is like so overrated today. Like, I don't understand its purpose anymore. Because that was the purpose, was to see how
everybody's been doing.
was to see how your fellow alumni are doing. Which even then, I don't think I would go anyway, because I didn't care.
Yeah, I didn't care about them then. I don't care about them now.
And like, once I get like, again, I'm a cook by trade. Like, I'm working on becoming a chef to like earn that title of chef. And in part of that, when like my chef who's opening up his own restaurant, that's where I'm going to be working very soon. When that place is open, I won't be surprised if there's a few days that's just like, hey, I'm there from 11 in the morning until 2 in the morning. Like, that's just kind of like what my work entails. That's what my life entails when I'm working. With what I do, I should say. So it's just like, oh, well, here's said day. It's like, all right, well, cool. If that's like on a day that I work, which, you know, when I'm in the kitchen, more often than not, I'm working.
Yeah.
I work a lot. Like right now, I'm not currently working. I'm being a house hubby. But then when that changes, that's when I used to make a joke of like, if anyone wants to see me, they need to schedule it out.
Pretty much.
Because it's just like I always have something to do.
Yeah, until with a couple rare exceptions. I've told you a couple of times, like, this is what we're fucking doing. Get ready, bitch.
But then it's like you tell me so far in advance that I'm like, cool, and I can like talk to my chef about it.
I hate that last minute shit. That drives, like, there's very few things I'm like actually really anxious about, but last minute shit hits every single fucking one of my nerves.
I 100% agree with the exception of one thing. Have you ever gone, like, let's say it's the ginger man or the short one, right? And you have these plans, it's like, and maybe this could just be me thinking if you're like the, why did I agree to this in the first place? I don't want to go. And then you get that last minute cancellation. Oh, rub my nipples tender. I love it so much when I don't have to do something.
You mean I don't have to go out the door? And I jizzed
In my pants. Yes, we are millennials. That is still our shit.
Yeah. Damn it.
Oh, you shush.
I can feel shame and pleasure at the same time. What do you think my sex life has been for the past few years?
Non-existent.
Exactly.
Excuse me. Yeah, there's just something about that feeling of like, oh my god, I have the whole evening open now, and it was something that I didn't really want to do in the first place.
Yeah. I've had
Oh
a day or two
God.
I've called out of work. For legit reasons, usually because I'm throwing the fuck up. Just in case my general manager is listening. There's been my days where it's like, fuck all y'all and all your plans. I'm laying in bed today.
I'm not doing it.
Click.
Yeah, because it's like, if I have something planned, I will do what I can to make that appointment, but then when that appointment gets canceled for the thing I don't want to do, oh, so sorry. So
Oh,
good.
Good. I've broken them all.
I know.
At some
I accidentally
point or
stepped
another
on
anyway.
I accidentally stepped on Jake's foot, and I was like, oh shit, I'm sorry.
The cursed one.
Yeah, because like, how many toes have you broken at this point? Something about Jake that you should know is that this man's like broken all his fucking toes somehow.
So I've broken. I have not broken my big toe.
Haven't you broken one of your big toes?
No, not the big one.
Okay.
I've dislocated a finger.
Okay, but I'm talking about your toes.
Yeah, but it was the thumb.
How? All right, I'll
It's like
get back.
It's like the big toe of the hand. That's some good shit, by the way. Colorado cream soda, get you some.
That whole time he was making that comparison, I was just staring at his hat going like, I should flip this shit off your fucking head for that.
But no, I haven't broken either of my big toes. I've broken all of my smaller toes, some twice, some 3 times, and it's only on one foot. So one of my foot looks. So my right foot looks like the left foot has been domestically abusing it.
It's not funny.
Then why are you laughing?
Because I'm a terrible person. Oh, that is fucking funny. God damn it. Yeah, like, homie, your feet are jacked up.
Oh yeah.
Like, I remember we were just like, we went to go watch Batman. And you were like, hey, by the way, can we make sure that we sit, like, in that middle row with the bar because I need to put my foot up? And I was like, all right, yeah, sure. Like, what's up with your foot? He's like, and he, without even breaking a sweat, you're like, I broke my fucking toe. And I think at that moment, I straight up said, how the fuck? Or actually, I think I asked first. I was like, oh, shit, that looks like which toe? It's like, my pinky toe. You mean the one that you just broke, like, 6 months ago? Yeah. How the fuck did you? I don't know. I think that's the issue, is that your answer is always, I don't know.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I'm just like, how do you break your toe?
I'll like stub my toe on something, and it's like, I'm so used to it at this point that it's like, ow, and then I move on, and then I like, look down at it, and the fucking thing's purple. And then I'm like, oh, well, there's a weed for that.
Meanwhile, I've never broken a bone. Ever.
You know something even funnier?
Huh.
Those are the only fucking bones I've broken.
That, and the fact that it's like repeatedly the same ones. So anyone who's listening, if you're still listening, number one, again, thank you.
Yeah.
Number two, if you've broken a body part before, like if you've broken a bone, is that bone more likely to break again? Even after like surgery and such, like
Well,
I'm just fascinated by that because again, honestly I've never broken anything.
So in
like,
that,
I've never
that-
broken a bone.
So in that comes down to the setting. That's why you want to have it properly set. Because if it's not properly set, you do run that risk of it's
Okay.
gonna break along that same fucking thing because it didn't heal properly.
Okay, that's fair.
Versus if it's set properly and then it breaks later again, you're just a dumbass who stubs his toe too fucking often.
So you.
I did make that pretty specific. Yes.
Yeah, it's just like, I mean, I had to be on crutches once, not because I broke, not because I like broke anything, but I like hyperextended, almost tore my ACL, like my my knee joint, I think is what it was.
Oh, you're lucky you didn't actually tear your ACL. That's what my fucking manager did at the ticket office, and that shit sounded like it sucked.
Yeah, that was the injury I got when I fell through the stage door. Yeah, here's a fun little story for any technical theater kids out there. I see you. I was a techie in high school. The band kids.
You see them through the mic?
Yes.
Your vision is like 20 negative 2 billion or some shit. I don't know. Does it go up or down if it's good?
I don't know. All I know is, like, I no longer have 20/20 vision.
All I know is that my doctor took one look at my prescription and was like, wow, yeah, your eyes are fucked.
Yeah, mine aren't that bad.
Yeah.
They're not great, but they're not that bad.
Yeah, I didn't even get a number. He was just like, whew. Shit. Can you see me now?
Sheesh.
How many fingers am I holding up? I don't know, a mitten?
A mitten. Can you imagine, like, just big fleshy mitts?
Can I imagine? Can I imagine?
No, I'm not saying
that's
like,
all I see right now, dude.
I'm not saying in terms of like your vision, but like you go to like you wake up in like an alternate universe and everyone's like shaped like a crab, but they're still like human-y. That sounds horrifying. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know why that just. You're welcome for that image.
Friends! Whoop, 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 whoop.
Right? There's just a bunch of like human-y Zoidbergs.
No! Not Zoidberg!
They're all
anything but Zoidberg!
They're all Zoidberg. All the time. Nothing but Zoidberg.
No!
Wow. I completely lost track of what I was saying.
You need to insert the Darth Vader no there.
No! Yeah, I completely lost track of what I was saying.
That's Colorado cream soda, baby.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck, man. I completely forgot. Do you have anything?
I'm kind of fucking hellaciously baked at this point.
I can tell.
Yeah. I think we've got about an hour and 20 of shit for you to edit through.
So
I'm
this will be
saying
like
that's
this
like-
first one will be like an hour.
Yeah. I'm thinking like put on some like fucking anime or video game or something.
All right, so
I need some stimuli.
we're gonna
Not to stimulate.
we're going to
The
sober up.
tones of my voice.
We're gonna sober up a little bit. Thank you guys so much for
Sober
hanging.
up. Speak for yourself.
Right. We're going to go do some shit. Thank you guys so much for hanging out.
Well,
Hopefully
just
I have
shit,
something
alright.
Oh my. Hopefully I have something more structured and planned out for next time. Again, I just wanted to kind of like this is like an episode 0 type of deal.
This is the
This is the testy.
Yeah, this isn't even the pilot. This is the test footage.
Exactly. This is the episode
The
0.
testes.
The testes, if you will.
The test. Yes. They've been
Um,
fondled yet.
Yeah, so again, thank you guys so much for hanging out. It feels good to be back. As always, I'm your buddy WolfyP.
And this is Jake the Snake.
And we'll see you guys next time. Bye, everybody.
Yeah, buddy.
Bye.